September 7th, second live thing I've done since I've been home from the hospital. This is Wags Chicago, aka Scott Wagner. I guess I'll start out. Sorry about the poor quality on the video, but I'm not in my office anymore. Not really an office. It was a man-made studio or whatever. But anyways, now I'm doing it just straight off the laptop, aiming at my rocking chair that I feel like an old man. It's I'm never going to go into it. Anyways, I'm an old man sitting in a rocking chair with too much time to think about shit. So, might as well do something a little constructive. I just saw this news come out. Anybody under the age of 30, you could tune out right now because you don't give a shit about your privacy. So, I'll just be wasting your time. Anybody over the age of 30, tune in. I'm just waiting for this thing to go live here. Make sure I'm connected. And then I'll get right to it, get right to the point, and then jump out. Oh, and like I was just going to say, I have no update yet on my condition. And when I do, I will let you know. And for the people that do care, and I appreciate that, I still hope that I'm getting some good vibes sent my way. And I think I am, because the shortness of breath has gone down quite a bit. So it seems like I'm able to control my breathing a lot better recently. Hopefully maybe the infection's down or something, I don't know. But that seems to be a little better. So let me jump into this. And let me just make sure I'm online here real quick. Hang on 1 second. And home. Come on. I haven't done this in a while. That's why I'm a little rusty here. I apologize for that. And my channel, does it say I'm live? Yes, it does. Okay. I'm live. All right, folks. People over age of 30. Here we go. Equifax. Most of us have had to give them information. We didn't have a choice. So like I said, some of us, even though we like our privacy, we try not to give it up, but you don't have a choice. You fill out a mortgage application, whatever, credit card, whatever you're going to fill out, and you got these pricks to got to deal with, Equifax and the other two. So they got your whole life in their database, in their paperwork. That we were not just voluntarily gave to, we had to be forced to give to our information. So, see that? So, being forced to give your information to these people, we trust that our information is going to be held to the safest levels, right? I mean, I gave you my whole life history. And it, according to Wikipedia, Equifax is a consumer credit reporting agency. Oh, there's the other two idiots. Experian, TransUnion. Now, you piss either one of these off, they can ruin your life. And, of course, most of the time it's your own fault. But one little mistake, and you're screwed. And a lot of us have had to deal with these assholes. So, they found out about this over a week ago, I believe. It was the end of June or July. Maybe it was a month ago. I don't know. And they're just telling the public today. So, they've known for quite a while that your shit was stolen. And there's a good chance your stuff was stolen. Because, if you look here, 143 million U.S. consumers have been exploited. So your stuff's for sale on the underground web If you got good credit, enjoy it. They're going to give you free credit monitoring. Oh, boy. What good does that do when these guys got access? And if you read the story, this is unbelievable how they did it. They didn't do it the typical cybersecurity break-in. They did this somehow through the court system or something. They went in and got the paper, actual hard copy. If I understood, I just found this out a few minutes ago, so I'm learning this as we read. I've not even read this article. I just saw earlier, maybe a half hour ago, a quick blurb about this. I'm like, I got to get on the air and tell people this. This is unbelievable. September 7th. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Everybody can read. Equifax announced a cybersecurity incident potentially impacting approximately 143 million U.S. consumers. Criminals exploited a U.S. website application vulnerability to gain access to certain files. Based on the company's investigation, the unauthorized access... Cody Fooey, come here. Sorry about the dog. This is live, so I don't know what to tell you. Based on the company's investigation, the unauthorized access occurred from mid-May through July 2017. Okay. And I think they knew about this at the end of July. The company has found no evidence of unauthorized activity on Equifax's core consumer or commercial credit reporting database. Of course not. They don't need to go on the database no more. They already got the information. Now it's for sale on the dark web. The information accessed primarily includes, it's no big deal, folks. Just keep moving. Like they tell you to do everything else. Shut up and move on. So just move on. Don't worry about this shit. We'll give you a free fucking bonus. We'll watch your credit for you. Now, I've already had to deal with that with my daughter's account through another credit agency that had the same thing. They were broken into a couple years ago. She got a free year. So what? It's been 5 years ago. What's happened since then? And now what happens if somebody does steal her credit? You're going to tell the mortgage company that's a mistake? Back in 2013, there was a break-in to Equifax or whatever company, and blah, blah, blah. It's their fault. They're going to tell you to go pound sand. Okay? So pound sand. And keep walking and do nothing like you usually do. Do nothing. Don't worry about it. Put your head down and keep walking. So what? 143 million people's stuff stolen. You know what? Most of you give that shit out on a daily basis anyways. That's why I said people under 30 aren't allowed to see this live cast there because you're doing this shit anyways. I don't even want to talk to you. I don't want to hear about it. I'm glad I'm not turning the phone on. Because I'm not big enough for calls to come in anyways, but when I am, this would drive me nuts hearing these people call in how they don't care about their privacy. So, I don't want to keep reading. That's just going to bore you. Anybody could do that stuff. The point is, we already give out too much information. We already have too much information taken from us, violating all kinds of, I'm not even going to go into the words. You guys don't even care about that. Searches, seizures, all kinds of whatever. And you know what? These guys that are, well, I just saw a thing about L.A., ooh, the ACLU got Los Angeles PD and the LA County PD. We got them because they're doing license plate readers on their squad cars, and they scan everybody's plate. I think what was it, a million a month, million a week, something like that. And the police are upset because it's going to show traffic patrol. Some bullshit they made up there. It's going to let the criminals know where they patrol at. They can pick up the patterns, even though they're patterning you. Trying to find, like in Canada now, they can start arresting people to pre-crimes or pre-crime. They're going to start practicing that. So a computer's going to tell them, go to this area, this block. There's going to be criminals hanging out there and arrest them. And they're going to arrest them. They said it. The police chief or whatever they call them up there. I think it was Alberta or one of those big areas, whatever, Canada. But they test this stuff there, and then they bring you right here. They'll bring it to California, and then they'll be over, on your back door. And you don't care because you give it out anyways. You might as well put a sign in your back window of your car. Here's my address. Here's my social security number. Here's pictures of my house. Pictures inside my house. And that's another funny thing. All you idiots that got that vacuum that goes around and maps the inside of your house. I was telling people that years ago. That thing is mapping the inside of your house, and I guarantee you with the Wi-Fi in your home, this is before anybody was talking about it, that thing is sending that signal to somewhere. Now they have the whole inside of your house mapped. And I'm sure that's going to Google Maps, and now somebody's going to know not only the inside or the outside of your house, and I'd like to know how they see over your fence. A 6-foot fence, and they could see toys just on the other side. How are they getting in my backyard? Whatever. Anyways, so now they got backyard, over the fence, in your home, and then all you guys playing that dumb Pokemon game just added to it, because now as you're searching around your house for the Pokemon doll or whatever the hell that thing is, you just mapped with video camera the whole inside of your home, which now can go to the vacuum cleaner that already has it mapped in digital form, and now they can add now the videos you've taken inside, and now anybody could have the inside of your home. I mean, nobody cares. So this all comes back to this. So what? Maybe this will wake a few people up. 143 million. There's 100 million people not working or can't work. No, that's not working. Then you got the people who can't work. That's like another 40 million or whatever. But people that are just falling off the job market, it's over 100 million. I think 100 million work. What do we got? 350 million people here? 143 million were just stolen. Kids under probably 16 don't have their shit in there anyways. So that's a good chunk of the working public. Do you care? Are you going to start to care? Are you going to turn off all this crap that's giving out your information? And here, you're forced to give these guys your social. You're forced to give these guys your driver's license number. If I have your driver's license number, your social security number, your birth date, I can become you. I'm not a criminal, so I'm not going to do that. But if I were, you can go on the dark web. I've seen the shows, the 20 minutes or 16, whatever those shows are called, where they show the dark web, and I think these guys only pay like $5 for this information. It's not even, they don't even sell it for a lot of money. So this is stuff you had to give basically a gunpoint to get your mortgage, get your credit card. Imagine all the crap you're doing voluntarily. Every time you hit that agree on your new TV, that also kills me. Samsung was watching you or listening to you for a long time. It was in the fine print. You clicked OK. So legally, nothing you could do about it. Even if it was illegal, nothing you could do about it anyways, because they're part of the elite. There's laws for you and me, but then there's laws for them, which they're exempt from the laws you and me got to follow. And that's what people are starting to figure out. There's laws for the rich and powerful, let's say, and there's laws for the average working Joe jerk-off. And you can't afford to pay the fines and the BS and the speeding ticket you got because you're running late to get to work, and you had to drop your kid at school because he couldn't get his shit together fast enough, and you missed the school bus. So now you got a guy that's getting paid $80,000 a year to sit on a side street and nail your wife for fucking doing 5 over. And then they're going to start getting all their tanks and stuff again. The 1033 thing. Look up 1033. That's an emergency man with a gun or whatever call you in most police lingo. That's why they call it the 1033. So watch what's going to happen now when all the big toys are coming back. And you know what? You cops out there, the old timers know what I'm talking about. And old means guys over 40. We were policing the streets when there was a thing called community policing. We got out of our car. We walked the neighborhoods. You would eat the barbecued food that the people were, barbecuing in their yards. And usually it was ethnic food, depending where you work. So today, you'll never see that because they don't serve, what do they call that? Serve and protect. And I don't remember what it's called anymore because it's not that no more. Now they're enforcement, what they call them, law enforcement. So it's law enforcement, not serve and protect. So there's a big difference in that. And we can do a show later. We're going to do a lot of shows on that. But my point today is you guys are going to start doing this stuff to yourselves. So when you find out your wife was dragged out of the car because of the little scanner on the front of your squad is picked up that your emissions was bad and you didn't go test in time, and that cop turns around on, I would say it's a 55-mile-an-hour zone, and he's doing 90 to catch her. What if somebody turns out in front of that guy and gets killed? I've told this to officers in the past for a similar situation that I observed personally. You're going to kill somebody for this? And you know what? They'll get away with it because there's no loss for them either. So it is really changed police work from just 1990 till now. And you know whose fault it is? It's our fault, the public's fault. You don't even know who your chief of police is. You don't care. You don't go to the meetings. You don't go in and ask, why is this happening? Why is that happening? Why is this not happening? Why are the good guys not stepping up? People always say cops should, not protect or cover for each other and all that. Why wouldn't they? There's nothing to back the guys up that wouldn't, get rid of a bad seed. So everybody's complaining about it, but they won't do a damn thing to even find out in their own little towns. So it's your mayor or your president of your town that hires the police chief. That's the guy that makes the rules that roll where shit rolls downhill. Now you have a patrol guy that's on a point system with quotas, which have been ruled illegal, and the police department say F you to the Supreme Court. And they do it anyways. And there's a couple of them that are laughing about it. I think in Ohio and stuff, the one police chief was like, he was laughing. He was on TV laughing. Quotas. So, well, yeah, we do it. And what are you going to do about it? You ain't going to do nothing about it because he knows nobody's going to show up. Nobody's going to hire a new mayor to fire his ass, to put in a cop that will follow the Constitution, follow the law, forget the Constitution, but at least some laws that he's supposed to follow instead of making up his own laws. And then he forces these guys to sit on the side of the road. So I'm not knocking you guys for doing it. I know you have to do it to get their few points for the day. To get that lady going to school, to drop her kid off. There's no more police independent discretion. That officer no longer is allowed to think for himself. So he's conditioned to have to get those points. And then these new guys are conditioned that everybody wants to hurt them, kill them, whatever, all this crap. When today is the safest time in history, I believe, I could look up the numbers, to be a police officer to begin with. So there's not all these people after you. So relax. When they got a cell phone in their hand, think about it before you pull the trigger. But you don't have to, because nothing will happen. Just like this officer who just dragged that woman out of a hospital because he got pissed off. It used to be, the only thing he's going to be able to charge her with, and I'm sure he did, it was disorderly conduct probably or some crap like that. That's the generic arrest. An officer is not allowed to be upset like that. So an officer is supposed to stay calm when situations go bad. These guys are creating the situation to begin with. They are the ones who raised and escalated to that level. And now she gets dragged out for following hospital policy. And I believe the hospital policy may have changed. I've been listening to a couple of people. I have to look this up. This is just off the cuff. I haven't even gotten into this. I don't even want to get into this. But I believe there was a Supreme Court ruling about the blood test situation on whether it's the victim or not. This blood test he was asking for was on the victim. He got hit head on by the guy they were chasing. So it wasn't the offender. It was the victim. And I believe that's why this made it different. When you go and get your license, you give up or you state at that time that you will give blood if you're asked, or you will do a DUI breathalyzer if you're asked and pulled over. And that's why you can't argue about that once that you get pulled over and an officer is arresting you for DUI, let's say. You've already given consent to that when you got your license. That's what people don't understand. It's going back to the Samsung TV. When you clicked OK, and I agree to the terms. So now when they're taping you having sex with your wife, and now that ends up on a website somewhere, you can't do nothing about it. And you already said, hey, it's okay. You could do whatever you want with whatever information you're getting. Or maybe they hear you talking about an invention you came up with. So we can go that route too. You invent the product. You're talking to your business partner, your wife, whatever. You go over the plans. That information is being saved somewhere and then sold to somebody. Why do you think they want that information? So now what are you going to do about it? You can't do a damn thing about it because you hit click, accept terms and conditions, and it says right in there, we can take whatever you say, sell it to whoever we want, and they can do whatever they want with the information. And you know what happened? Sales of Samsung TVs skyrocketed after that. So you know what? You guys, you're hopeless. Hopeless. Why did more people go and buy their stupid TVs when they've been getting screwed? Even though technically they were giving them the make it a little softer ride ahead of time by hitting that OK button because you didn't read the 500 pages that are in there and you're not a lawyer to understand it. Doesn't matter. So they're untouchable. And your information's out there, and now you go apply for your patent on your new product, and some other Joe Schmo has got it. Probably some big company's got it. Not a Joe Schmo. At least it'd be at least somebody got it that would maybe deserve it. But he probably doesn't have the money to pay for that information. So people, 143 million people. That's what they know so far. Of Equifax. That's the credit reporting agency that tells car dealerships, home loan companies, if you're a good enough person to get a car, get a home loan, get a credit card, they're the guys in charge of that data. And when I fill out my information and give it to them, I entrusted them with my data and didn't think they would leave it out in the open for somebody to just grab. Why is it online or even accessible? Turn these computers off, dude. Put the information. Have somebody have to go pull the file like they did 20 years ago. How did we get along in this world 20 years ago and then 2,000 years backwards from there? We were able to buy homes. We were able to buy cars. There was a thing called a file cabinet. So certain things maybe shouldn't be online. Just like when they stole all the military guys' stuff, what, a year ago, 2 years ago? They're breaking into the U.S. military and stealing their information. Where they got their fingerprint, their eye thing for the secret door opening stuff, and all that crap was in there. Why is that online? Turn that switch off. Put it in a computer in a closet, even though they can break into that too. But make it harder at least. Or don't put it on that computer. Put it in the file cabinet. At some point, take our data and it stops. But because people want things too fast right now, I'm in a hurry. You're in a hurry to do nothing. What's your hurry to do? So, enjoy the 143 million people that are going to get free credit monitoring, which only lasts a year, folks. Don't forget. So, like my daughter is dealing with, it's been 5 years now, I believe. Her free 1 year is up. So, if anybody stole the information since then, it's going to be on her. So, they're off the hook in a year. See, this is what happens. You fill out this form. There's a special website to see if you've been hacked. I forgot to tell you that. Where is that? You go to a special site and you enter in your name, and it will tell you if... I don't even know if it's in here. Let's see. I haven't read this one. Here. All complimentary to U.S. consumers for 1 year. Okay. You can lock, unlock, credit reports. The center is open every day. Number's 866-447, whatever. Okay. Here's what you can do. Here's some free advice. And I learned this from my friend Jerry. You don't have to pay that monthly $35 a month. I'm having trouble breathing, folks, so I'm going to cut this off now. You can contact each credit bureau and put a lock on your credit. And there's no charge, I don't believe, for this. The only thing is, it becomes a pain in the neck if you're in a hurry to get a brand new credit card or something. You got to call, get like a special code ahead of time. Let the bank know, okay, I got to unlock it. There's a code. And that will authorize that one-time use for them to do this. That's the best thing you can do to save your data. So, lock it. These three places, call them up. Tell them you want a lock put on your credit. They'll put a lock on it. You're going to have to use a special code. You lose this code, you're done. You never get a credit card again. So, make sure you keep that in a safe place. Not online, not in the cloud. On a piece of paper, in more than one location, in case something happens at that location, you get a flood or a fire or whatever. And there you go. Nobody can steal your stuff, and you don't have to pay $35 a month to do it. Because I'm sure there's when that thing says they cover you for $1 million worth of lawyer fees and stuff to get out of all your stuff being stolen, I'm sure there's a little clause in there too that says, oh, we don't cover you because you didn't do this. You didn't check this one box here. So I'm sure there's a way out of it for them. So you're probably not covered like it says. Call your credit bureaus. Put a lock. If you got good credit, put a lock. And nobody's getting nothing because nobody will be able to access your credit bureau. It'll tell whoever's trying to run it, there's a lock on this account. And there's nothing they can do. They won't get any information. They won't be able to get a loan. They won't be able to buy a house in your name or a car or whatever. All right. I can't. That's it, dude. I'm starting to have trouble breathing here. So, everybody have a great night. Thanks for listening to my rant. And this is WAG Chicago. I'll give you some updates when I get them. Right now, I don't have any. I'm medical, but I am feeling this right now, so I'm going to end the podcast. This is WAG Chicago, going 1042. Everybody have a great night.